Your 2022 KTM 250 Factory Edition. I literally just picked this bike up thanks to my good buddies at Pony Powersports in Mansfield, Ohio. So, I don't really know a lot about it yet. Of course, I've been reading about it, but when you actually see them in person, it's kind of cool. So we'll do a quick walk around, and I'm going to put it in this field here a little bit, even before I go home. Looks like the fork guards are new, a little bit of different shape, and they definitely go around the back a little bit more. And of course, they got the funky fenders with the little air things that guide air back there. This skid plate almost looks like a wood skid plate. I mean, it really covers a lot of the bike up. The new fender and radiator shrouds, they're real tight. Of course, you got a little bit of protection for the guards there. But if you look at this bike from the front, or I guess we can kind of look at the back, you can see just how tight and how far forward those go, so you should not have any problem catching your boots on them. It's kind of interesting. If you turn the wheel all the way, it's actually pretty tight there. Now, we didn't put the fork. It does come with a rotor guard. I haven't put that on yet. These are the same wheels, basically same floating rotor as last year's factory edition. Of course, it has the air forks on it. The cabling and the harnesses look a little bit more cleaned up under here. This hour meter is quite a bit different looking, and I think it has the function lights in it, the fuel injection air lights, the new radiator cap. The seat bolt sticks out a little bit. I may try to get something a little more flush. I wasn't sure about the orange seat, but now that I see it in person, it looks really, really good. You've got the texture here. Of course, it's just styling, but you got this texture, and you have the texture here. This just is styling. It came with the vented airbox cover too, but I didn't put that on yet. And it's got the standard Regina chain, the normal billet machined hubs, and that orange seat. This stuff's like molded in, I think, most of it. The engine's very compact, really small. This is the same frame the 450 has, so 450 is going to be really tight too. Now, you can do these clickers, although these things are kind of in the way. You can actually reach them, and then you got the rebound here. And then the clickers on the forks are the same as last year. So the bike looks better in person than it did. I was a little bit not sure about the colors in that, but really looks good. There's a couple changes up here. The fenders are definitely bigger, but the switches and stuff. So it's got, I think it's easier after you start it, but so they got the combination stop switch, start, and then map 1, no number, but just white or green, and then that's quick shifter on or off, and then traction control on or off. It's kind of on the bottom. I just been kind of literally just putted around here, but I thought we'll give it just a little quick spin. I didn't have a 250 last year, but I had a 450 and a 350. But I've ridden a lot of 250s, and I can say for sure this thing definitely has, it's not quite as sharp as, say, the Yamaha, but boy, it's close. And there's that quick shifter. It definitely's got it's got a little bit more low end, but boy, the mid is where the thing feels really, really good. Oh man, this is going to be fun. But it's got that kind of, this is map 1, and last year, if I rode a 250, I didn't even ever put it in map 1. So it just didn't have, 2 was so much better. But now map 1's got this nice, smooth, broad power. Real smooth, finds traction. I like that feel of it. So I could just even second, just kind of roll on. And it just brings it up. So now if we go to map 2, that's second gear. Geez, you just roll in the The front end just comes right up. Yeah, Map 2 has a tiny, I shouldn't say a tiny bit, it has more urgency, like just a quicker turnover in that mid, so you probably have to shift more. You can hear the quick shifter there. Now I've got the quick shifters on my street bikes, and it seemed like it was almost kind of a gimmick other than the start on a dirt bike, but we'll have to see, get it out and ride it some. There, I think I had the shifter loaded and it didn't want to shift on me there. I'll tell you what, I'm a 350 guy. 350s are my favorite combination of power, weight, and handling. 450s are just, you know, they're great and have more power and you lose agility. 250Fs never seem to have quite enough power. This one, boy, that's going to be fun to ride this thing back to back with my 350 Caleb Russell. You know what else is kind of interesting? That this thing still has pretty high tire pressure. I haven't touched a clicker. Now, of course, it's pretty soft, but this is actually a little bit of choppy ground, but feels pretty plush going over it. Of course, it's brand new and the KTMs are always tight. It takes them a little while to break in, but man, it's just got that bark finally. KTM's kind of had that slow turnover. This thing finally has a quick turnover. Like it gets going. All right. Now, of course, this is a parking lot test, quick ride test. Revs quick, barky, snappy. Quick ride test, and I've had a lot of KTMs, 350, 450, and I've ridden a lot of 250s. Had the Honda CRF 250, and I ride a 22 YZ250F a lot, my buddy has. So I'd say initial impressions, definitely has more low. It's got a little quicker turnover. So, you know, they're kind of lazy before. Now it's got this kind of, the engine has this quicker rev, kind of brings it up to speed faster. Look at that smoke coming out of there. Number two, the mid is definitely stronger. It's just got a fun mid. It's just a rah, 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 and you can really roll into that throttle and feel that. I like the ergos. They don't feel radically different from the other ones. These pegs feel amazing. I didn't think they'd be that big of a difference, but I guess with the extra kind of area in here, your feet just feel real secure. They're super thin. I like the pegs. Of course, Brembo brakes are always good. You don't have to mess with those. This one I think already comes with the black throttle cam, the quick throttle cam on it. I do have a My KTM connectivity unit. I haven't even looked under here, but I'm hoping I can still connect to that. I'm going to try it and see if it works. Man, I think I really